selection for Elk Grove's next police chief. This comes as a result of Chief Lehner's announcement last month of his intention to retire at the end of October. At this point, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Bob for his work. Over the past 8 years, Chief Lehner developed departmental systems, structures, and policies that transformed a young department into a modern, high-performing police agency. But he hasn't done it alone. Assistant Chief Bryan Noblett has been a critical component of this transformation as well. And I'm pleased to announce that Bryan Noblett is my choice for Elk Grove's next police chief. Speak with a variety of people inside and outside of the organization over the last few weeks about our police department and its future. Our department is fairly young by most standards. We just celebrated our 10th anniversary just a couple months ago. Our first chief, Bob Simmons, established this department by recruiting the best and the brightest men and women from different police and sheriff's departments all across the state. But it's clear that in those 10 years, a definite departmental culture has emerged from all the different cultures that initially formed the department. The Elk Grove Police Department culture is distinctly different from other organizations. The community's perception of the Elk Grove Police Department is very positive, which I'm glad to say, and not every department can say that, unfortunately, these days. Our officers are actively engaged at the neighborhood level, and the work of Chief Lehner and his staff have put the department and systems in place that will build on the department's continued success. And I believe that Chief Noblett has the knowledge, experience, and local perspective to keep Elk Grove's police department moving in the right direction. As an Elk Grove resident for more than 25 years, Chief Noblett knows this community. As a former captain and as its current assistant chief, he knows this police department. And this police department knows him very well. The staff of the police department, from sworn officers to dispatchers to administrators, are ready to rally around and support Chief Noblett as he assumes his new duties. He is the most qualified person to lead the Elk Grove Police Department into the next chapter of its history. And I think my colleagues here would agree as well. And with that, Mayor Davis, would you like to say a few words?
You know, there's an old adage I don't use very often. Personally, that's if it's not broke, don't try and fix it. I'm usually trying to just fix broken things. But, you know, Captain Noblett has played a significant role in the building of the Elk Grove Police Department since it first launched in 2006 to the high-functioning department that it is today. You know, each and every one of our crime statistics, well, I would say each and every year, our crime statistics have gone down since we've been in the police department. And in fact, just recently, the chief shared with us some numbers that are for this year. So the first 8 months of 2016 compared to the first 8 months of 2015, violent crime is down by 9.9%, property crime is down by 24%, and burglaries are down by 39.6%. That's pretty tremendous. And well, first of all, I think, how about a round of applause for the folks here in the room? Police officers, our department, the staff department, work really, really hard to make sure that this community is safe. And if you look at statistics as a way to reflect on whether or not it's working, it's working. Chief Lehner done an exemplary job leading Elk Grove and leading the Elk Grove Police Department. And frankly, the shoes that you're leaving to fill are very big. I'm not sure I'd want to come in as chief after those kind of numbers. But I also know that we have someone that can fill them. But you also didn't do it alone. Obviously, everybody in this room has played a role in that. Captain Noblett has played a very meaningful role in it. Someone as solid, as respected, as experienced, who knows how to lead from the inside, understands Elk Grove, understands where we've been and where we're going. In my opinion, it would be a crime not to give Captain Noblett the job of chief. We don't like crime. I'm pleased, I'm excited, I'm optimistic, and I believe that Captain Noblett's promotion to Chief of Police is going to be positive for our community. And I know that the community, as they get to know Now, Chief Noblett, as we know him, will understand he's an experienced leader who's ready to build on our already safe community. He will work with the community, and that includes, I know a number of the folks that are in the room that don't work for the police department. That's our neighborhood watch coordinators, our community leaders that are eyes and ears and work in partnership with the police department. But I know he's ready to work with everyone to achieve the goal of safe streets, safe neighborhoods. So on behalf of the entire Elk Grove City Council, we would like to congratulate Captain Noblett to your promotion as chief.
Privilege and honor to introduce Assembly Member Jim Cooper. Jim represents the 9th District for the Assembly, including the cities of Sacramento, Elk Grove, Galt, and Lodi. Jim also serves as the Assembly's Assistant Majority Leader. He is a former captain with the Sacramento Sheriff's Department, and probably most importantly, he is our founding mayor and founding council member for the City of Elk Grove. Thank you, Assembly Member Cooper, for coming.
Good afternoon, good to see you all. This is kind of bittersweet. I remember when Bob Lehner first came on as the police chief of Elk Grove and took Elk Grove in a different direction and did a tremendous job with the city of Elk Grove. Elk Grove is a great place to live, and Bob is very well respected throughout the region by the other chiefs and sheriffs for all his hard work in keeping Elk Grove safe. Bob has done a tremendous job in law enforcement and for many, many years. Now it's time for him to go and earn a very well-deserved retirement. With Bryan, when we first told Bryan from Lodi PD as lieutenant, Bryan came here. And I used to live down the street from Bryan. We were neighbors. And I was excited to have Bryan come here. And Bryan's done a tremendous job for the citizens of Elk Grove. And it's truly an honor to see him be our next police chief. I think Bob did a great job training him, bringing him up to the ranks as the assistant chief. So it speaks volumes about Elk Grove PD. And for the men and women from Elk Grove PD, it's not easy being in law enforcement right now. It's a tough job that nobody wants. But it's an honorable job, it's a respectable job. You guys have a great reputation throughout our region, and I'll tell you what, it may be a silent majority, but the majority of the public supports you 100%. You guys do a great job. Thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing. You never look back. And now with Bob handing the baton off to Bryan, it's going to be continuous what we've had. So it's steady, and as Mayor Davis said, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So I think Elk Grove's in a great position now to have this next chief come in. Now I'm excited for Bryan, excited for the city of Elk Grove, and we have a lot to look forward to. So, Laura, I think you made a great decision, and I'm excited for you, Bryan. You've got big shoes to fill, but you're very capable. You've trained your whole life to assume this position and this role. And I think it's going to suit you well. So I'm excited, and it's well-deserved. So thank you.
Chief Noblett has been very involved in our community policing programs, and he's had a chance to connect with many of our homeowners associations and neighborhood watch groups. I'm really pleased to have joining us from the Laguna Greens Neighborhood Association, Michael Jones.
Good afternoon. I agree with everything that last two speakers said, 100%. Thank you, Mayor Davis. Honored guest, our new police chief, Bryan Noblett. I am Michael Jones, president of Laguna Greens Neighborhood Watch, Inc. in Elk Grove for 22 years as a resident. It is an honor to be here on this occasion. The published mission statement of our police department states a focus on neighborhood and community partnership, integrity, transparency, and a commitment to excellence as means to maintain the public trust. I believe that our new chief, Bryan, will continue to promote these values within the already excellent police department. You have my commitment to support and assist you. I look forward to your participation in our community activities, especially National Night Out. I will have my wife barbecue you a delicious brat or two. Again, welcome, and I know our new police chief will do an outstanding job. Thank you.
Michael. And now I'd like to invite our current chief, Chief Bob Lehner, to say a few words.
Thank you all for coming. You know, I know we don't do this very often in Elk Grove, but the change of command of the police chief is a big deal for a city. The selection of a police chief for a city is a big deal. And in systems like ours, we have the most common system in the country. The city manager has that appointment authority. Many of you in this room may not know it, but Laura's track record of selecting successful police chiefs is pretty remarkable. I'm glad to be one of the many. On that note, however, Laura, and of course we've talked, you just duplicated that track record yet again. This was a remarkable selection. I think a lot of people know that I'm not originally from Elk Grove. In fact, I've only been here about 8 years. This is my third state I've worked in. I've been an observer of police agencies all over the country. Obviously, in a leadership role, you have to do that. And we have something very special going here. Bryan will bring to this job what I was not able to bring to this job, which is he grew up here. His family. Hi, family. By the way, a quick note to the girls, the daughters. I too have 2 daughters. I think you know that. You think you had trouble getting a date before? Wait till now. As the speakers have said, as Laura has said, you don't do this alone. In fact, one of the things that happens is you grow up and rank in any organization, you personally do less and less and less. Seriously, by the time you get to be the police chief, you don't do anything. But what you do is mentor and prepare people for positions of greater responsibility. No one is readier for this job than Bryan Noblett. He's a great choice. He's going to be a great leader for the City of Elk Grove. He's going to be a great chief for the many department employees who are in the room. I know he's a little bit nervous, but I also know that professionally he's excited about this opportunity, and I know he's going to do a great job, and we all wish him really well. Congratulations, Bryan, and thank all of you for your very kind words.
And now it's my pleasure to introduce to you the incoming police chief, Bryan Noblett.
Well, thank you all for that really warm reception. People said some really nice things about me. It's probably a good time for me to stop talking, actually, after that. I can only go down from there. I first want to thank City Manager Laura Gill for not just for the job, but for the expression of confidence and trust. This is a pretty well-oiled machine, has been pointed out many times, and to be entrusted to lead that effort with these really great people is it's a big job, and I appreciate that she saw in me that I can handle that, and I have every intention of doing just that. So thank you very much. I think the chief mentioned that you don't get to this point in any career, let alone this one, by yourself. You just don't. It takes a committed team of people to run a city organization, certainly, to run a police department. And then behind the scenes, no man or woman is able to stand up here at this moment and accept accolades as if they had done it all by themselves. I'm no different than anybody else. I owe a huge debt of thanks to my family, my wife Sherry. As most of you know, I have 3 kids. One, the oldest is in med school, and his schedule is crazy. He wasn't able to be here today, but my beautiful daughters, Marina and Natalie, are here. Wave your And the Chief's probably right. It's going to be tough to score a boyfriend. That's going to be difficult. I've got my parents here, Kathy and Steve Vickers. Please raise your hand. Mother-in-law back there, Elizabeth Atkinson. So I appreciate you all being here. I think that it just has to suffice to, thank you's not enough. I mean, you guys have, you've given a lot to me over the years. I think anybody who's ever, and pardon me for taking these on and off, but I can't read without it. Anybody that's ever been to any police promotional ceremony or any celebration of any sort, you hear somebody stand up and they always thank their family appropriately. But then they go into this story of how many events they've missed over the years because they've worked shift work, or because they've been called out in the middle of the night, or because they, like in my case, spent 3 months in Quantico, Virginia at the FBI National Academy. And those were things that honestly prepared me for this role, certainly. But those were not my accomplishments alone. I mean, that takes a committed team at home. And I just appreciate you guys more than you know, and I love you. Thank you very much for that. And I'll try to make you proud. I want to thank Mayor Davis for his comments and his leadership in the city. Certainly, my friend Jim Cooper, Assemblymember Jim Cooper, our other elected officials who are here today. Thank you all for taking the time to be here. It means a great deal to me that you're here. And I want to point out, while it's convenient that they're sitting here so that I can point at them easily. But we have a really committed and engaged board of elected officials in this city. And I think Chief Lehner would say, and I expect that I'm going to find that without that, it's very difficult for us to effectively do our jobs. And we've appreciated that relationship over the years, and I'm certainly going to continue to nurture that going forward. So thank you for past and in advance for what we're going to do in the future. The fact that Michael Jones is here, means a great deal. And, I know Michael. Michael, he may not say it, but Michael runs the most airtight, well-oiled neighborhood watch operation that y'all have ever seen. It's very impressive. They manage a website. They're very connected, and it's through those connections, those people weaving themselves together, and us being involved with them in their neighborhoods, that we get our work done. That's how our cities become safer places. That's how Elk Grove's evolved to where it is today. And I think that's how we're going to even continue that into the future. Michael, thank you for not just for being here today, but for what you do every day.
Thank you.
We appreciate that greatly. And I don't want to leave anybody out, so I'm not going to call anybody else out. Pardon me for that. But those of you community members and community leaders who are here to share this moment with us, thank you. Thank you for being here. I think that's what makes this such a special place, is we have engaged citizens that live here, and police professionals who want to work together to make the city safe. So thank you all very much for that. He's not going to like this very much, but I'm going to do it anyway. I want to say a few words about Chief Lehner. He said some nice words about me, and I appreciate that. But I can't even come close, as I stand here in front of you today, to express to you what that man has meant to me personally, and what maybe more importantly, what he's meant to this city. He's had a very, I was about to say long, Chief, I probably shouldn't say it in that way. He's had a very distinguished career, and I just want to thank you for your service, Chief, to our community and to the others that you've served. Anybody that knows this man knows that he is a man of absolute impeccable ethical character, very high morals, always willing to do for others, committed to service, and I couldn't have asked for a better role model. If I can come anywhere close to the example that Chief Lehner has set for me, then I'll be really lucky. So thank you, Chief, for that. He didn't like that, I did that.
He can't fire you.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of liberating, actually. Go right away. You know, you look around the room. I mean, everybody's sitting up here. You can take a sec. Just look around the room. I mean, I'm so touched by the fact that so many of our department members have taken time out of their day to be here today to share in this moment. It means more to me, you guys, than I can say. You know, I wasn't going to come up and tell any stories, so I'm going to tell one, but I think it's relevant. You know, back when I came to work here in 2009, I considered myself to be very lucky at the time. Once I got here and I saw the people that are here and what they're about and how professional they are and how much they care about the community, it just smacked me in the face. And that's, I hope there's nobody here from where I used to work. I'm not making a comparison other than to say this is a very professional organization full of really good people. And I'm just going to say it's going to be my honor to serve as your police chief, and I'm going to try to do right by you as well. So thank you all for your support to this point. I'm sure I'm going to rely on a lot more support going forward, but thank you very much. It means a lot to me that you're here. So, you know, I've not said a ton about myself, and I think I probably won't start starting to sweat. You know, I want to say, I think the city manager mentioned it earlier. You know, my wife and I elected 26 years ago to move to this city. But we did that for a reason. We've stayed here for a reason. You know, we've raised our kids here. And we're not too bad. They've taken it out. But we are woven into the fabric of this community and to this city. And I intend to keep it that way. I think in this role I'll have an opportunity to maybe even exert a little more influence about how things happen in the city in terms of public safety. For me personally, I had this epiphany when I came to work here in 2009 that for the first time in my life I had aligned my personal and professional lives. And that means a lot. That meant a lot to me. That's not lost on me. So as I stand here before you as your next police chief, just know that I'm committed to this community. I'm committed to these people in this community, the community members and the leaders. We're gonna work together, and we're gonna keep this city safe and follow along the lines that Chief Lehner has said. I mean, this is a very professional organization, and I look forward to what we can accomplish down the road. So that's my little story about myself in terms of my professional and personal lives aligning, and I think for me it was really important. And I'll close with, again, just thanking everyone for taking the time to be here. It means a lot to me. It really does. I'll thank you all personally, I'm certain, later. But thank you very much. And at this point, that's really all I have to say. And I think that ends our prepared comments. But we can open it up for any questions. This was a press conference as well. So if anybody has any questions, of course, my staff's not invited to participate in that. Anybody else? Anything? Anybody? Wow.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, sure. Sorry I'm late. Your vision, are you seeing any major shifts that you need to make within the department yourself, or do you like how our outgoing chief has created the system?
Well, that's a good question. I very much like where we are. I think there's always capacity to grow. And I think in 2016, in the world that we live in today, the society that we live in today, I think the onus is on us to continue to examine our practices and look for opportunities to improve. And one of the largest opportunities probably is through community connection, neighborhood connection, and outreach. And so while that's not very specific in general terms, that's an area that I'm very interested in improving in. To be honest, I just recently found out I was going to get this job, so I've not put a lot of thought to operational changes and things of that nature. But I would like to see us really deeply woven into the fabric of neighborhoods. That's very much of interest to me. Thank you. Thank you for the question.
That concludes our press conference for this afternoon. We'll hang out for a few more minutes in case there are others that would like to ask questions of Chief Lehner or Chief Noblett or me. And again, thank you so much for coming. This means the world to all of us, to me and to the two chiefs. So with that, thank you and have a great afternoon.
Quick photo op before everyone leaves. Quick photo op before everyone
Good, good. Hi, good to see you.
Coming.